Howdy doodly, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? We have a fantastic set coming in for you tonight with the Midnight Griefers versus Keedic. And you might notice we got a little someone extra with us tonight. Welcome in, Thoob. Say hello to the chat. That's right. It's not a solo cast event. It's a duo cast. The Hide Thoob combo. Are you excited, Thoob? Right? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. So I believe our teams are ready, so we won't hold you guys up anymore. We did our introductions. Now let's get to the action. Teams are ready to go for the first draft. And here we are going into it. So let's get over there.
Alrighty, we are at the ban phase. First pick here is going to be on the side of Keedic, which is Monk's team. Seems like there's a Charizard ban, which is very typical, especially in this new meta. And on the side of Midnight Griefers, we are locking in the ban for Ho-Oh.
We are indeed. And while I do some slight scene adjustment here, which I do appreciate the patience there, chat. Perfect. Now we can see everything. We are going to lock in a Galarian Rapidash. This has to be a target ban. Like, we don't see these kinds of bans very often. And when we do, it's got to be against specific players on the team, especially that Zeraora ban. So these teams have been doing their research all week long. We have 2 weeks worth of VODs already. Because can you believe it, dude? We're in week 3.
That's amazing. I feel like it's been going super fast. Honestly, the summer has just been going really fast. But the teams and the games that we're having tonight are just making it even more exciting to look forward to that next week, you know?
They are indeed. But while we are looking for next week, the teams are now locking in their first 2 picks for each side. We have a Snorlax Blissey combo for the side of Midnight Griefers. Whoa, that is a powerful combo right there.
Yes, it is. It's very interesting to see both of them get picked on the same side. Sometimes the teams get very lucky with getting such strong picks early game, but also it gives the other team an opportunity to really try and counter or play different ones just by knowing that the other side has locked in the Snorlax and the Blissey.
And you can see that already coming in too, because Keedic is already adjusting. They've seen that Snorlax Blissey pick. They're like, listen, you got Blissey, that's a safeguard target. We're not scared at all because we've got the Suicune, we've got the Lucario, and now we lock in the Umbreon.
Oh yeah, and it looks like on the side of Midnight Griefers, they're having possibly some sniping down with that Inteleon for the little bit extra range. And one of the mons that I feel like I'm seeing more commonly, Dragapult.
Oh, absolutely there. That Dragapult is going to be a machine shredder. And then when you tie it up with a nice secure option like Inteleon, we are looking to be a rip and flip combo. And to top it all off with a nice cherry like Serena, oh no, we're going straight for the Zygarde. Or not the Zygarde. That's the league's name for a Zacian. Wow, that's going to be a power pick for sure.
Yes, and I feel like to counter that secure with the Inteleon, the side of Keedic is going with possibly a Venusaur, and adding that extra mobility with that Leafeon can really, I feel like, change the game. Possibly they'll be going for scores, but both Leafeon and the Lucario are doing some stacking, so we'll see if they're able to get that mission accomplished earlier game in order to kind of turn the game towards their side earlier on. So we'll see how it goes, chat.
Yeah, that Leafeon's definitely going to have its work cut out for it, trying to get onto those back lines. It has 2 valuable targets. Do you take out Sautori on that Dragapult, trying to take down and and get rid of the shred? Or do you go for Gabzop on 90 on the Inteleon? Because that is going to be the secure. Inteleon is known for sitting in those back lines, popping those snipe shots, and being able to secure those KOs on unsuspecting squishy mons, such as Leafeon or even Venusaur. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good match. It's going to be a rough one too for anybody who's in the crosshairs of that Leafeon.
Yes, and it looks like we are about to begin high, so let's get to it.
We
We are on
are.
the side of Keedic right now, just watching who's going to be going into the jungle. And the other side over here on the Midnight Griefers is doing their Dragapult in their jungle.
We do have that Dragapult in there. That is going to be a good lane for it as well. But that Sobble in the bot lane with the Snorlax is also going to be deadly. It's less effective with one crit stack, so it's all going to come down to how you can manage these crit stacks for sure.
Oh yeah, and let's go ahead and look at our top lane here. It looks like they're playing a little bit safe, securing their own farms, and they're ready for contesting that 920 bunny.
Yeah, that is a very crucial bit of farm. It's going to allow them to get online with some stacking early on. And with you as Zacian, you have a lot of points that you want to get in because that is how its passive ability flies. When you get those points, you press a button, and all of a sudden your cooldowns are immediately reset. We do have those
Okay,
mid birds up in 55 seconds, but these mid birds up in the lanes, however, are up now. We do have that engage, the Zacian going in on top of it, but being forced out, that Lucario diving deep, looking for a nice pick combo with the Leafeon to grab the Chansey. Not even a Blissey yet, but the raining fire of an onslaught barrage of attacks is coming out from that Dragapult, pushing Keedic off the pad.
yes, and we did see some of their eject buttons being popped here. Both of the junglers are here in their jungles trying to farm up for that next push, potentially going all teams in for that 8-minute bees that we're having in about 10 seconds now.
You can already see Keedic rotating in. Midnight Griefers a little bit late, but they are also collapsing, but not with the Dragapult. Dragapult going to finishing up its jungle clear, but as it comes in, the Zacian's on top, going through the Blissey with a nice safeguard. Keedic now on the back foot, but the Snorlax is playing among them. He's decided, I'm going to be one of you. The Imposter coming through, grabs a quick KO from that Leafeon, as the Dragapult comes through, grabs a stealthy KO on it, for a nice double knockout on that Suicune. But Umbreon's not ready to leave it alone yet. Dragapult turning around, coming through, grabs a nice triple right here.
Yes, and I feel like that fight was really good because now we're already going to be talking about the 720 birds, and then diving right into what's already going to be happening for the objectives, Hyde.
Oh, for sure. We're 15 seconds out from those objectives here, but the level-wise, we do have the Dracloak at level 8. We almost have a Dragapult in this. That's a difference of a battle here with range with the Inteleon sniping at the little itty-bitty birds out from the underside of that Venusaur, but that Venusaur's not being deterred as he evolves and gets that solar beam online. Keedic already collapsing on this bottom Registeel.
Yes, they were able to do a great job with zoning out that Inteleon just because they know that Inteleon is here for those moments of security. But instead, they do get a trade here with Dragapult securing that Regieleki.
They do indeed, and 40 points going in for the side here. Huge dunks coming in for 101 points to 0 for the side of Midnight Griefers. This game 1 is going incredibly well for them, but now we're reversing on the Leafeon here, with Blissey doing a really good job trying to defend, but goes down. Huge score now coming in for the side of Keedic.
Yes, and they were able to do a little bit of stacking there, and break that bot pad to make it pretty much an even game, Hyde. We are still seeing a lot of vision checking here with the snipes, the Snorlax jumping in, and now we have the 550 birds.
Yeah, those 550s are up, and we do need our teams to rotate through and grab them as soon as possible. You want to make sure you're staying on top of the farm as we have huge snipes coming out because for poking and prodding, you never know where the enemy's going to be. We do have a level 11 Dragapult and a level 11 Leafeon, as Keedic now takes the lead of 131 to 103.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to do a push here down bot, but unfortunately, the side of Keedic is really doing a great job with holding down their own fort.
They are indeed, and here comes the Keedic's coming through to defend that pad en masse. We have 5 of them down here. 15 seconds until this basement Reggie comes in. Huge knockout on that Inteleon. It will be late for this next fight.
Yes, so we're going to be seeing both teams, it seems like, splitting objectives here, with the Snorlax trying to keep a little bit of vision here to see how many of them are down bot, but it looks like all 5 have rotated down bot on the side of Keedic.
Yeah, Keedic has seemed to recognize that they can zone this out and they get it for free, and Midnight Griefers has opted to decide to go play the counter lane. They're going to give up that bot path, they're going to allow all those points to go in, hoping the Regieleki is going to be able to come through. And if they don't follow the Regieleki, there's a lot of farm on the map there, Thube, that they're able to pick up and secure.
Right, and they're leaving the Lucario up top to try and rip that Regieleki here, while the rest of the team is going to do just what you said. They're going to be going ahead and farming, but we're seeing a little bit of possibly contesting here for that mid-birds.
Umbreon is doing a fantastic job of moving ahead and getting vision for the side of Keedic. That vision is going to help that Venusaur be able to land its solar beams coming out, being able to pick off Midnight Griefers, who might be unsuspecting of where that Venusaur is. This is a game of vision if you don't know where the enemy is, but we do see the Leafeon going down, ulting on top of the Inteleon here, taking it out. Now diving in with a double knockout on the Snorlax with a click triple KO onto that Zacian.
Yes, but they were trying to hold that pad down, or try and push it, I'm sorry. But unfortunately, they were caught up by the Dragapult, doing a great job dealing damage on them, getting that kill off the Suicune. And I want to give credit to the Venusaur here, too. On top of the Umbreon getting some of that vision for them, the Venusaur, I feel, has been doing a lot of poking with their Solar Beam and getting a lot of hits and damage just to make sure that their team comes out with a little extra advantage of getting ready for that extra team fight whenever they need it.
We are 10 seconds out from these Reggies now, and these teams are taking every advantage, just like you said, Thube, to now zone and position to where they want. Keedic now taking this bottom side Registeel, while Midnight Griefers opting to take the Regieleki. The least contested objective here. We do have level 14s on the Dragapult and Leafeon, as teams will now be looking to either defend or probe to push their advantage going into this Rayquaza fight.
Yes, and it looks like the side of Midnight Griefers was able to push it in, possibly waiting for that 2 minutes to hit so that way they can go and score that double points.
Oh, and they did mess up a little bit on those points there, but here we have a huge engage coming in. Keedic decided they're going to crash inside their own jungle on top of Midnight Griefers. 1, 2, 3, 4 down for the side of the Midnight Greaser. Zacian all alone, holding the lines. Not enough as Lucario's ultimate attack comes through, secures the knockout, and Keedic turns on the Great Green Dragon. Snorlax now holds the line, blocking, pulling them out, trying to buy time for their own team to come through. Keedic is now collapsing on their Rayquaza, trying to continue this rip, but the Dragapult is back, but it's not enough! Suicune secures the Rayquaza, and here we go! Hundo Burger going to start raining in for Keedic if Midnight Griefers can't shred these shields.
Yes, and it looks like it's going to possibly be on the side of Keedic unless we see what has happened in the past, a significant comeback. Some of the shields have been ripped, so we're just going to be seeing how this last minute pans out.
Yeah, this is not out of it yet. This is a game that we can only find within the Zygarde League, 494 to 238. These teams are fighting like it's the World Championships themselves. Midnight Griefers is still in this. They got some points in the pocket. They know how to grab it. They just got to run to the other side and score. And with 2 Unite moves, they are able to get this done. So let's see how it can do. It is very possible. They're crashing on this front pad here. Oh, but another huge score coming in for the side of Keedic. 20 seconds to go. Can they score 300 points?
When we do see a
Unfortunately,
Bliss assist here, yeah, it looks like unfortunately they weren't able to do any point hide
a,
with that last minute there.
a valiant effort on the side of Midnight Griefers, but it unfortunately was not enough. They tried, they fought, they failed, but that's okay. That is the way of the game. This is a best of 5 set. So, what does that mean? That means Midnight Griefers has at least 2 more opportunities to come back into this game and swing it back into a tie game. To try to take this game away from Keedic. They need 3 more. They just need 3 wins total. This was only the first of many to come. This was only the first loss, but there's many more wins in Midnight Greaser's future.
Right. And let's go ahead and look at a bit of the stats hide here. So we see that Monk on the Leafeon has gone 14 kills. But again, as I pointed out earlier, the Venusaur did a great job with those pokes in getting the most damage on the side of Keedic with 96,000. A really great job considering Venusaur is more of the backline and really just kind of throwing in the beams a little bit blind, but doing a great job with that predictability. And let's go ahead and talk about the side of Midnight Griefers for a little bit. GapSop did a really great job with its snipes, but unfortunately, they were they were zoned out just a little bit too much or too long in order to not be able to secure what the side of Keedic was able to do in what they needed. So, anyone else you want to point out, Hyde, before we move into our next match?
That Blissey did a really good job being able to throw down the safeguard and being able to keep their team going. That Suicune stuns were definitely not felt for a couple of targets in those engages. However, that Venusaur beam, when you go safeguard, you lose that healing option, and I think that they like it's a hard thing to weigh. Keedic did an excellent job of capitalizing on the fact that they knew the Blissey was going to be safeguard over eggs. And when you can't heal, like that chip damage is just going to keep stacking up and up and up. But you can't also count out that Umbreon. Umbreon was doing fantastic work, and the Suicune on the side of Keedic as well. They were out there getting vision. We often saw the Venusaur and Suicune paired up together. Suicune in the front getting vision for the Venusaur to grab those beams. Umbreon scouting the map, looking for where Midnight Griefers was, trying to find where they are to allow Keedic to adapt and reposition on the map to try to catch them out or to find an opportunity somewhere else.
Yeah. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think we are just about ready, if I'm not mistaken, for our next match here.
Yeah, for sure. We'll bring that up right now here. We'll look at the standings for the Zygarde League. Let me grab that right here. There we go. Here are the standings for this week so far. We have 2 matches left, but tonight we do have a bit of an upset with the updated standings. We have EX Trainers moving into 8th place, Mew World Order dropping into 9th. This means Mew World Order is now in the danger zone. And Midnight Griefers is in 12th place, but that's technically 11th place because right now where they're standing is they haven't played this week's game. That's what we're watching tonight. They are looking for their first win, but they are up against some really tough opponents with Keedic in 4th place. Haven't lost a set yet, but they have dropped a couple of games, making a few close calls. All right, we are moving into the next draft here. Let us move into it, and we'll move over to the scene and watch our teams as they go hard into this first draft. Again, Keedic, your purple
Hi.
team, 1 point. Midnight Griefers, your orange team, looking for their first win tonight.
Yes, and it looks like we're doing another traditional ban here with that Charizard and that Ho-Oh. But we'll see if we're going to be getting a few more target bans or if there's anything they wanted to ban from last game.
Listen, when you have a guy on the opposing team who's named MC Char, you have no choice but to ban the Charizard out from him. I'm just saying, like, if you have somebody with a Pokemon name in their game, and you know they're going to play it, and a strong Pokemon like Charizard, that is going to be a good ban, anyways. We do have the
Yes.
Rapidash Holo Leafeon bans coming out as well. So, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looks like the side of Midnight Griefers does not want to deal with that Leafeon from last game. And I mean, that gives the Keedic team an opportunity to get back that Suicune.
They are dropping the Zero Aura for the Leafeon indeed, and they want to get on that Suicune there, so it looks like they are going to be blocking in the Blissey. If they don't go Blissey, what other options are there? We do have Alcremie, we do have Wigglytuff Unite as well, being able to pull them out of that, but we're locking in a solid core of Snorlax Blissey once again.
Yes, yes. And I do want to note here that Yuckers on that Snorlax is going Floatstone, which I traditionally don't see hide. But we are getting a little bit of swapping as well on the side of Keedic with that Gudra and the Garchomp. So very interesting top comp here. And we did see some buffs for all of my lovely defenders, including Mr. Gudra here. So I'm very excited to see him back in the match and brawling out tonight.
Yeah, Gudra's not a very top pick that we see lately, but the way that Keedic is aiming for this we have Suicune, we have Garchomp, we have Gudra, we now have Zeraora locked in. Depending on what they lock in for this, like already, this is looking like a very, very brawly comp already as it is, and they are going to be looking to fight this whole game while being able to exert pressure and not just sustain battle, but also burst.
Right, right. And on the side of Midnight Griefers, we have the Gardevoir. Very interesting pick, but we'll be seeing how those ults land against this very brawly team. And you know who also loves to brawl is a good Serena. Serena is a very good pick here with that full heal and those stacking items to make sure that it does its job of knocking their opponents out. And we have an Absol on the side of Midnight Griefers to close this out. Hyde.
Oh yeah, that Serena is gonna be nasty. Being able to get shields and heals for every target it hits. That Absol is gonna be looking for that Armor Rouge, looking for that Zero Aura. The Unite moves from Absol is just able to shred even tanky teams. And Gardevoir, this team is weak to Gardevoir, so they're gonna be looking to get on it. That Zero Aura is gonna have its work cut out for it trying to get to that Gardevoir.
Right, right. And I do want to point out here that we have X Attack Absol going into this comp here. They really are, it seems like it's going to be a 1-for-1 or brawling type of fight for this round 2.
Yeah, Zero Aura is also carrying that X attack as well. So it's going to come down to a battle of the speedsters. Who finds who first? This is
Right.
going to
And
be. Oh, go ahead.
no, sorry, Hyde. I was just
No,
gonna
no.
say, uh, and speaking of Zero Aura, we found that there was I mean, it seems like it's been confirmed that there was a target ban for Mr. Monk here, because last game they had banned the Zero Aura. So we'll see how they brawl against this in this round.
I mean, when you take away the Leafeon, you open Zero Aura, I think you're kind of obligated to be like, listen, if you want to target ban me, you're going to make sure you hit the right mon. Because if you try to get rid of something else, I'm going to show you why it was a mistake. And as we go into game number 2, our teams are ready, going down their flex zones, and Zero Aura already beating the pulp out of this Xatu.
Yes, and we have the side of Midnight Griefers getting that Absol online by having him do that jungle clearing and possibly going in for gank later on, and we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I'm not sure which lane even I would go in for the early gank here. I believe the Absol would benefit the top side first. You want to get that Serena online as quickly as possible, but the Ralts is also a viable target.
Right, but it looks like both teams down bot were playing it safe, and you are right in that the Absol is going top. The Snorlax was able to secure that mid bunny here, and it looks like they're pushing on, Hyde.
They are indeed. Snorlax looks like he's going down. He does. Gumi gets the knockout, but in this topside lane, we do have our junglers ready to go, primed for these mid-birds within 3 seconds.
Yes, and here we are at the top birds here. Looks like Zeraora is jumping in as well to take on this fight, and we are trading a few kills here, Hyde.
We are. The Gibble goes down, but the Steenie and the Absol fall soon after, allowing Keedic to go for a nice push here for some huge points, going in for a nice 39-0. Blissey the only one on the pad to defend, but not being able to deter anything. It wants to stay awake and up and not go to the Poké Center, so it is going to try to stay away from those fights.
Yes, and it looks like Monk as well does not want to go to the Pokemon Center because as soon as that Gibble came back online, it was like, hey, I am bouncing out of here. You are here. I am going to go and farm up just a little bit before these 8-minute birds.
Everybody is here and ready to brawl. They're going and they're diving in, but the Absol is the first victim to fall. Snorlax shortly after, followed by the Serena taken down here. Keedic dominating these middle birds and the fight that ensued. Now they're pushing this bottom lane. They're going in hard. Psyshock coming out from the Armor Rouge with the armor cannon. Ooh, that's an interesting tech there. I mean, you got to out-damage something and get some range out with the Gardevoir. If you're not going to brawl with the Fire Spin, armor cannon is the way to go.
Yes, and it looks like that Zeraora is doing what seems like Midnight Griefers possibly feared for that first ban last game by clearing out and getting that kill on that Absol with Spark.
Yeah, if you can't get to the Gardevoir, you're going to take that Absol for sure. Our teams are gearing up for their first objectives, though, in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and they are here. Midnight Griefers opting to move into this bottom lane as Regirock is getting shredded by the side of Keedic. Will they be able to make it in time? Huge zoning out by the Zeraora and the Goodra coming in, grabbing that Gardevoir, annihilating any sort of possibility for a snipe. But here it comes, the Zeraora with a double knockout with a Regi secure with the Unite move and a triple to follow on the Blissey.
Yes, and in addition to securing that bottom Regi, we also get Garchomp securing that top Regi for them. Looks like Absol was ulting just to get out, but unfortunately it did not make it out by that Zeraora catching it at that very last second. But Gardevoir is still alive, trying to farm up its level 9 for its massive ult. And trying to hold down this pad as much as a little Gardevoir can, but just in time there's a Snorlax hide.
And Snorlax comes in with a nice block. Huge pad defense. Can Midnight Griefers collapse and save the pad? No, they're giving it up. And they have that Serena in a position to counter score and get some counter pressure on. She has 35 points in the pocket. That could be good. That could be good points to bring them into this game again. That's the Serena's first stack of this game, by the way, as she's now contested by the Garchomp. Going toe-to-toe with Suicune support. Not going to be able to do it. Going to give herself up to get that second stack on the attack weight.
I mean, in trading for its stacks, it was able to draw out a few of its opponents up top so that way the rest of its team can handle down bot here. Goodra is doing its job by tanking in as much damage as it can. Unfortunately, getting that kill on that Snorlax, Gardevoir was able to pop its ult, and Absol was able to clean up that Goodra and get away safely, Hyde, avoiding that Pokemon Center.
Oh, those buffs to Goodra's special defense were not enough to say it. Gardevoir was like, you know what? You're still a Goodra, I'm still a Gardevoir, and pop, 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 you go into a bunch of Aeos points.
Yes, and it looks like we have the side of Keedic setting up early for that bot Regi once again. Looks like Griefers isn't trying to even contest it high. They're trying to go for top, it seems.
Oh, and they know exactly where Keedic is going to be, and they're going to push their advantage as much as they can, trying to break this pad, grab the KO on the Garchomp first. That's going to be huge experience to swing back the way of Keedic. But Keedic is not sitting on their laurels. Suicune comes up to help. Garchomp goes down, though, taken out, but not before Serena and Blissey go down. Garchomp being pushed off, now goes down. Suicune left all alone, as Keedic now looks to invade their jungle and grab farm. Midnight Griefer's push on this top pad has failed as Keedic now opts to grab control of the red Jalecki.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, Midnight Griefers wasn't really able to uh, make any clear advantage with that giving up the bot Reggie for them and leaving it to the side of Keedic to secure that Reggie. And now here we are seeing a possible push here from both teams, but we'll see. Gardevoir making that ult in there and hide. It looks like there's just a lot going on here.
There is lots of Unites coming out here. We do have some Snorlax blocks coming through, but no, the Blissey and the Absol go down. Keedic is pushing their advantage. It's a 6v3 scenario. Snorlax doing everything he can, but doesn't have the tools. Regieleki converted to the side of Keedic, allowing all kinds of score to go in with a massive 33-point over on this tier 2. Keedic is absolutely running away with this game too at 369 to 81 points into this final Rayquaza fight with a minute away. Thoob, what does Midnight Griefers need to do to get back into this game?
I think Midnight Griefer's only hope here, Hyde, is to secure that Reggie. I mean, look at the levels here. Midnight Griefers has a level 13 Absol. Zeraora here has a level 14. But other than that, the teams are kind of a little neck and neck in terms of levels. We do have some level 12s that are coming online here, but so is our other team. And so what is the side of Midnight Griefers doing, you ask? They're farming. They're farming to make sure that they all have their ults. And the side of Midnight Griefers is making sure that they confirm that, giving up this bot Reggie as it seems. And Keedic is just ready to take in this fight. They don't really care that they're giving away their vision and losing a little bit of early game positioning. But here we are with that Ray fight, Hyde.
Huge engage from the Snorlax, heavy slam into a block combo to try to kidnap the Suicune, but Suicune ejects away using its eject button. Garchomp trying to save it, but doesn't need to, is now trying to create distance and space. But oh no, the Goodra's going in deep. You think he's in trouble, but he's like, I'm in the grass, I'm tanky, you're Gardevoir, you're weak, I got you. But Zeraora is the first to fall. Garchomp unites, but will it be enough? It's going down. Serena unite on top of it. Keedic is in trouble now as another one falls, but the Absol falls with it. Suicune's very low. They're collapsing on it, picking their targets. Very, very good. But Goodra comes and grabs the Gardevoir. That's huge. Pushing out the Serena, grabbing the knockout. That Goodra putting in the work.
Yes, yes. And that Suicune did such a great job with that kill in that bot bush here, as you see. And unfortunately, even though Midnight Griefers had that advantage in that fight, they weren't able to do enough or even start the raid. We're back at a minute, Hyde. How do you think this is going to pan out now?
Ooh, Midnight Griefers is going to have to make a push. Listen, they're at 369 to 112, but Keedic does have a front pad. They got to find a way to either go score or to grab this Ray fight. They do have 2 Unites on the side of Midnight Griefers, only 1 with the Zeraora. They need to push now in order to secure this fight or to grab some score, and they're opting to go for score. 3 people going into the top here. Well, how will Keedic respond? Are they going for the rip? No. They're also going for their own counter score. Gardevoir and Snorlax doing an excellent job. But now they're going for a pseudo rip. Oh my gosh, there's chaos everywhere. 369 to 252. Midnight Griefer's still in this. 20 seconds to go. Can they get to that front pad? Huge Unites coming out. We have 14 seconds left. Midnight Griefers has to get to that pad to score. They're too busy fighting. Go, Absol, go. 7 seconds, 42. This could be it. No, they have to stop. The Suicune gets interrupts the Absol successfully, and Keedic will take game number 2.
Hi, that was amazing fight from both teams. I want to say, I gave credit a few minutes ago. I want to give credit to that Suicune. We saw in that last 5 seconds that Suicune was able to get to that Absol to honestly have them secure that win. Gardevoir unfortunately was not able to land its ult, and some of those big team comps closing in on each other for the side of Keedic. They had some opportunities there, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough timing wise to get those kills locked in. They were ahead, it seems like, on the side of Midnight Griefers in that first team fight, but unfortunately they weren't able to do enough.
Nah, that fight was Midnight Griefers. They got robbed by the Gudra. He comes in, he just barreling down that zone. He's like, listen, I see three of you as you're all low HP. I'm gunning for the Gardevoir. He comes barreling in with his goopy, dopey little face. He's like, what's up? He is the unsung hero of this match for sure. Because let me tell you, as soon as that Ray fight engaged, he was on the Gardevoir, zoning it out, and immediately putting Midnight Griefers on the back foot.
Right, right. And let's go ahead with the stats now, Hyde. Monk, yet again, doing a lot of kills here. Do you feel like it was exactly what Midnight Griefers was fearing in banning it that first game?
Oh, for sure. That when you're banning a Pokemon like Zeraora, you're banning it for one of two reasons. One, there's a player on the other team that's really, really strong with it. Or two, you don't have the tools necessary to deal with it. Or you're not planning to bring the tools in to deal with it. Midnight Griefers allowed it to go through. It was a final pick. So they were like, hey, maybe they're not going to pick it. And as soon as it locked in, you could kind of feel their hearts just sink. They're like, all right, we got to lock in. We can get this guy. And they focused him. He was one of the first people down that they got out at that Ray fight. So even though they didn't have the necessary tools to deal with it for the all match, they knew who to target. They locked in. They zeroed in on him. And they got it done.
Right, right. And let's go ahead and talk about this Garchomp really quick. I feel like it also did a great job on the side of Keedic. Just making sure that it rotated when it didn't need to be in those team fights to secure those top Reggies. I mean, we saw some of those moments where they were able to split Midnight Griefers up or make sure that they knew where all five of them were in order to secure something that they needed, whether it be some farm that they needed to get levels off of, or even like things like Regieleki here. But we'll go ahead and see how we're looking for game three, Hyde. Any future predictions that you're thinking about? Any bans based off what you saw in this game that you think are going to be banned next game, or what do you think, Hyde?
Oh, I think that's tough because I think in both instances, Midnight Griefers dropped the ball at the right fight in some way, shape, or form. Whether it was a sleeper gank from out of nowhere on that Gudra, or whether it was just massively underestimating the power of a Leafeon. So they got to lock in and they got to figure out how to take this right fight away from Keedic. Keedic is opting for multiple different strategies, being able to lock in and take advantage of certain weaknesses. So they need to figure out what those weaknesses of the comp are. Maybe even bait Keedic into certain picks to try to counter what the perceived weaknesses are. And you know what? As crazy as it might sound, maybe even opt for a first, maybe even opt for a second pick, because with the second pick, you have the final pick of the set. I mean, we're going into match point here for the side of Keedic. So you have to lock in whatever tools you've been hiding if you want to take this game. Yeah, definitely. So when you're first pick, you're basically locking in a high priority mon. So you're able to get that. So right now, Psyduck, Snorlax, Blissey, these are all high priority mons. Alcremie fallen off a little bit, but still a good solid choice. So whether it's a tank or a defender, or even like we've seen in season pass and past when we had Charizard or Inteleon, when these were really high damage output mons that really swung the game in favors, that is a scenario where a first pick comes in. But when you go second pick, your advantage is your last pick. One of the things that most teams like to do is they like to hide their damage. So what do I mean by this is when this damage is hidden, they're going to be picking it in the last two slots or as little as possible. This is going to be their main carry Pokemon. And when you're that last pick, you can have whatever it is you pick for the carry, gonna be able to just counter that.
Awesome. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see the ban phase here. We have Suicune on the side of Midnight Griefers being banned, possibly from the last two fights, if I might add. But Blissey being banned as well, possibly a target ban, or they just don't think that they're going to pick it in this strategy. Hyde, do you feel like this Decidueye ban, or looks like it's being changed to Zeraora. Do you think that Zeraora ban might have been a target ban yet again for our friend
Oh,
Monk?
oh, for sure. There's no way they were gonna let that Zero Aura come in again. If they did, that would have been insane after that game. You'd have to pick Pokemon to counter it specifically. But again, you're as in a first pick slot, you're giving it there. But Clefable is coming out as a ban. Blissey's coming out as a ban. And they first picked the Ho-Oh. Oh my gosh, Keedic, you have the right to, you have the opportunity to disrespect the Midnight Griefers and lock in that Charizard. There it is! They do it! They know they wanted the Charizard. They didn't take it. They're like, listen, we gotta be smart. We gotta take that Ho-Oh first. And Keedic is like, I know you do, man, so we're gonna take it. Your Charizard plays for us. Urgh.
Yes, yes, and it's Sai time over here on the side of Keedic as well. But we're locking in the defender and the support on the side of Midnight Griefers with Slowbro and another change, Al Creamy for the heals.
Oh, there we go. Alcremie is a fantastic pick going into Psyduck, whether you go with the Decorate or the Dazzling Gleam. But if you're going to go Decorate, you've got to have a really strong damage dealer to go with it. Now, Ho-Oh is a carry Pokemon after the latest update. But with the heals from the Recover, I'm just going to say it right now. Those heals are busted. They're broken. They are so strong that they could swing fights.
Definitely. But I feel like Keedic is onto something here with that Gudra. I mean, it feels like worked last game for them, so why not pick it again? And a Buzzwall for extra stuns on the side of Keedic.
Yeah, that Buzzwell's going to be a menace for sure. But they're picking that Gudra again. They're like, listen, this guy was putting in the work. We're going to run him again. And the Midnight Griefers saw this, and they're like, listen, this now, we can't run the Gardevoir. So we're going to pick the Mewtwo Y. Why are we picking Mewtwo Y? That Psy Strike is so strong. Being able to slow its targets, inflict a stun and a jump and a bounce and whatever else is going to come in. And the Unite move, so important. Being able to give vision on the entire enemy team when used, no matter where they are on the map.
Right, right. And we can discredit the Cerulege here too. I feel like it's a really good pick when it comes to comps like this. Just being able to dive in there and really be that front line for them in those big team fights, especially at Ray. I'm going to be curious to see how that pans out. And it's an X attack instead of something like a full heal against stuns like Psyduck and Buzzwall. But we'll see how this pans out, Hyde.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams are actually looking really fairly even in terms of scaling here. We have the Alcremie and the Slowbro coming online at level 4, Psyduck Glaceon coming online at level 4. We also have that Ho-Oh Buzzwall mimicking each other for level 5s, and the Cerulege and the Mewtwo Y going toe-to-toe with the Gudra and the Charizard.
All right, let's go ahead and start on the side of Midnight Griefer since they were the first pick in this round here. It looks like they're sending that Sarah in that jungle with Midnight Griefer sending Mewtwo down bot with its Slowbro.
They are indeed. It usually is an attacker and the tank going into the bot side lane. Sometimes you opt for a utility support attacker there, sporting that EXP share, but more commonly, you do see the attacker and the defender going into the same lane.
Yes. Looks like we're getting some push here on the side of Midnight Griefer's Hide. And unfortunately, they weren't able to secure the farm that they were trying to contest.
No, keeping that pressure on early is definitely how Midnight Griefers is going to get back into this game. These are early Pokemon coming in on the side of Keedic. So the way to keep them down is to get ahead, but no, that Glaceon secures it and evolve. Level 4, that is going to hurt. They're no longer able to keep it Evo locked, which means that this Glaceon will eventually be able to get to 6. And the way it's going to be 6 really, really soon. We do have these
Let's go ahead
850
and head
birds
over to that
spawning
top
in.
birds. Yes.
All right, we have Midnight Griefers zoning out as well. Keedic backing off. This is not a fight they want to take right now. Ceruledge is going to be farming, and it looks like they are going to be rotating back into their jungle to start continuing the grind to level 7.
Yes, it looks like we're level-wise, we are pretty much even in terms of levels. We're getting a lot of the level 5s online here. Sarah is level 6. And it's about 15 seconds left for mid-birds here, and we do have a little Psyduck getting ready to set up for that side of Keedic.
Psyduck is definitely providing that vision for the side of Keedic there, but Slowbro doing the same thing. Mewtwo coming out, put a nice side strike on that Goodra, showing them exactly why we picked it. But Glaceon picking up the KO on the Ceruledge, the first victim to fall of this match. Side strike coming out, hitting the Charizard as Mewtwo walks away, getting picked off by the Glaceon as Buzzwole soon falls to the Ho-Oh.
Yes, and it looks like we got Glaceon another kill here on that Alcremie.
That Alcremie grabs a KO, but we have a triple for the side of Keedic, being able to lock that in for the Glaceon. This is a menace. That Glaceon's already level 7, level 8, the first Pokemon in this match with its Unite move, as we are now 15 seconds away from these first objectives.
Yes, we have Glaceon doing its thing, throwing those Ice-Cold Spears down. Mewtwo doing its job on hitting that Goodra, trying to secure a kill, but unfortunately Goodra was just a little tanky in this scenario. Its passive is popping out right now to get it some healing in this lovely grass area, and it looks like we're getting ready to start both objectives. It looks like it's split again.
It is split. Keedic and Midnight Griefers wasting no time going into this Regieleki fight. The Buzzwole is getting caught out, and their Midnight Griefers are doing an excellent job waiting for their Ceruledge to come up to try to grab the KO on this. Buzzwole's looking for an opportunity. Grabs the Ho, but Ceruledge grabs the secure on the Regieleki, reverse pushes, grabs the KO on the Buzzwole, and grabs the knockout on the Psyduck. And we saw Slowbro secure the Registeel. So now Midnight Griefers is now in a powerful position, being able to take a 39 over on this dunk, coming back into this game to 134 to 119.
Yes, and it looks like both of these teams are battling out once again in the midsection here. Sarah going down by that Glaceon we've been seeing all game. And as they're making their way to top, it looks like they're doing a lovely push here. Ho trying to go in for that kill with the Alcremie. Alcremie popping its ult here, and unfortunately, the side of Keedic was pushed back. They ended up pushing back. They did not want to send more than one of their teammates to that Pokemon Center.
No, Midnight Griefer's doing a great job being able to keep this momentum going. Jump pads are not up for 28 seconds. We did just have a quick return there. The points are going to be raining in. They're going to be taking the lead of 192 to 154 for Midnight Griefers, as Keedic now looks to zone them out, come back, and punish them for coming too deep into their territory.
Yes, we have going down. Speaking of down, we have the Ceruledge doing some farming as the Ho-Oh is here to take cover here. Ho-Oh and Ceru are trying to do its best to take down this Goodra, but it's so tanky, Hyde.
That Goodra is a tanky beast indeed. There's not going to be much that's going to be able to take it down quickly. When you don't have a ranged attacker like the Gardevoir that's able to ignore the special defense, Goodra's special defense buffs is just going to run away.
Yes. What that means and luckily we had the Ho-Oh res here, getting the kills off the team of Keedic, and unfortunately its team wasn't able to hold down the pad, but we don't have enough points to break unless... Oh, it looks like Psyduck came just in time to break that pad, and for what cost. Buzzwole was able to score top, and the side of Midnight Griefers was able to secure that bot Reggie.
They were indeed. Leaving that bottom pad on 1 with 2 minutes to go to Rayquaza is not a bad tech at all. That means when you come into this when you come into the double points and score your Hundo Burger, that is effectively a whole pad break going in on top of that 879 points. But we are zoning into here, going for this Ray fight. Mewtwo Unite coming out. Huge stunts for the side of them. Charizard Unite coming in. The first one we've seen on stream and caught with the casting coming through, grabbing it. But no, the Ceruledge comes in with a huge Unite move, KOing 1, 2, and 3. 4 Pokemon for the Quadra KO, sending Regieleki down to the side of Keedic as they now look to grab farm and push the tier 1 pad.
So we have Glaceon, Char, and Psyduck on the side of Keedic going ahead and defending against that Reggie, but leaving that bot tier 2 be broken, Hyde, and quite by a lot as well, if I might add.
Oh, yes. 321 to 196. Midnight Griefers has the advantage in this fight, not only in points, but also in levels. 14 on the Ceruledge, 13 on the Ho-Oh, while Charizard, Buzzwole, Glaceon, dreaming of it, sitting at a measly level 12.
Right. And Hyde, I do want to point out we are at the 30-minute mark here, or 30-second mark here, and we are down quite a few ults. They really tried, I feel like, to contest the top Regieleki here. And we'll see if they're able to farm up or have their ults come up just in time for them to take on any fighting at Ray. And it looks like Ho-Oh's starting the engage here.
The important Unites are online for the side of Midnight Griefers. We have the Ho-Oh Unite and the Ceruledge Unite. Ho-Oh needs to stay alive and staying up in order to bring its team back. It has the points to do so, and they got to be playing for that. They got to be playing for that kind of a play. If there's so many Unite moves on the side of Keedic there, if they go down, they revive, come back, Unite moves, swing the fight the other way. That's one of the best ways to come back and one of the best ways to utilize this Ho-Oh Unite move.
And let's go ahead and look at where the Sarah is positioned here, Hyde. We're looking at an engage here, and the Sarah's just waiting for its opportunity to kill.
Yeah, Ceruledge diving in right now. Huge Unite move coming through. Picks up 1, 2 targets there, picking up the KO on the Psyduck. Charizard also goes down. Ho-Oh Unite bringing back the Mewtwo. Fallen Revival is one of their worst nightmares. Goodra goes down. Buzzwole's hanging on by a thread, also fallen. Glaceon nowhere to be seen, now trying to stay alive, so waiting for Keedic to respawn. What an excellent zone and an excellent push from the side of Midnight Griefers.
Yes, and luckily the Glaceon was able to get away, but do they have enough time, Hyde, to secure this raid? Do they have the rip that's needed? Can Midnight Griefers really push in here and make sure that they secure this victory to stay in the game?
They definitely have the tools to do so, but Keedic is not allowing them to do it. They're ripping the Rayquaza while also spreading them out and keeping them separated. That Rayquaza is really low. Here it comes in. Huge secure for the side of Midnight Griefers. Slowbro, the stealth sniper, coming in, grabbing it in a full team-wide KO for the side of Midnight Griefers.
Great job.
This is insane. Yes. Midnight Griefers picking up their first win of the night and the first win within the Zygarde League. It took them 3 weeks to do it, but they have proven to everybody we are not out of this back, and this is only the beginning.
Yes, Hyde. And we're at a best of 5, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, the Midnight Griefers just really locked in there. I wanted to point out what you mentioned here in that last Ray fight. They were zoned out for a little bit. It seemed like we had Keedic really trying to secure that Ray, but somehow they weren't really paying attention to that top area where Sarah was able to come in and secure the Ray, or at least distract Keedic enough in order to secure it with the Slowbro. At some point, I'm a defender player myself, but I love a great secure from a defender or a support.
I mean, when you're down on the back foot like that and you're down on points and you know you got to make a push, sometimes you just got to rip and flip and pray. And let me tell you, Keedic ripped, they flipped, they prayed. Unfortunately, Arceus was like, nah, bro. He either blinked or missed something, and Slowbro took advantage. Zagpop
Right.
coming, or Zabgop coming in with the clutch secure. Oh, you love to see it, dude. You really do love to see it.
I do, I do. And I mean, look at the scaling difference, at least in terms of kills and stats here. Midnight Griefers now had 14 kills on that Cerulege, and I feel like it did a great job of engaging and doing its job as a jungler and just as a Cerulege and getting the kills that it needed. But also, we saw a lot of work being done on that Glaceon on the side of Keedic.
Yeah, that Glaceon was no slouch. If you get caught up by Glaceon, it only takes a couple of hits. And 84k damage definitely means it was rocking the side of Midnight Griefer's world. But Sautori on that Cerulege, as you noted, 14 KOs. I'm going to say right now, that bro was 15 before the Rayquaza fight. Level 15. We haven't seen a Pokemon hit level 15 before the Ray fight. All set. And so Tori was able to be the first one to pull it off tonight.
Right. Alrighty, Hyde. It looks like let's go ahead and check on our teams now to see if we're ready for game.
Oh, I'm excited to see where game number 4 is going. I'm glad we're even getting a game number 4. Some of these matches don't go that long, and we might be. I'm here for a game 5. I'm here for game 5, Thou. I want one. Midnight Griefers has the skill. They have the tools. They have the ability to get in there and make it happen. They have the drive to take out Keedic as well. And we would love to see an upset. Last place taking out fourth place, that's going to be huge. Huge upset. Yeah, for sure. I think Midnight Griefers is in for a treat on this one. I think they have, like I said, they have the tools to do it. They saw the Charizard go the other way. They're like, listen, man, that's dirty. I can't have you doing that. I can't have you doing that. Like they took the fight. They're like, listen, you take Charizard, there's gonna be mistakes. There's gonna be hands thrown. And let me tell you, there were hands thrown by that Cerulege. Well, they weren't necessarily hands. They were swords. All right, let me tell you, they were swords. They were coming in, they were slashing, they were hacking.
5-2 Hyde. So let's go ahead and see how game 4 pans out. Again, Keedic is the one that's going to be banning first. And what do we see here? They're not going to be being. Looks like they won't be playing it, so they're just going to ban it, Mr. Charizard himself.
They left it up for one opportunity for Midnight Griefers to take it. Midnight Griefers said no, and then Keedic is like, "Well, you're never gonna get him again. He's going back on our ban slot, and you'll never see him." Zeraora coming out for the first ban for the Midnight Griefers. They're like, "Listen, you're gonna take out Charizard. We'll take out the Zera."
Yes, and you know what they're also taking out from a target ban is the Slowbro, the Mr. Secure himself, and a Ho-Oh. Classic Mon that's been banned, but also it did its job last game in doing some really great res timings there.
Yeah, knowing just how crucial Ho-Oh was for your comp to come online and knowing just how powerful it is, you do not want to leave it in a first pick position. We're going to see the same habits start to develop again as Suicune is locked for first pick for the side of Keedic. Will we see that Blissey Snorlax coming in for the Midnight Griefers?
It looks like we won't be, Hyde. It looks like they're locking in the Blastoise, and we're possibly, yep, we are getting that Alcremie once again. And that just leaves the Snorlax to be open on the side of Keedic.
Oh, let me tell you, a Blastoise Alcremie combo is annoying and deadly. Ooh, if that's a rapid spin Blastoise, although I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Surf, they're going to be able to lock that. Like, that's a lot of damage, a lot of sustain coming in from that, from the Dazzling Gleam and from the Decorate. We have a Snorlax pick. They're not giving it to Midnight Griefers. Like, you have your one shot to grab it. You didn't take it. Snorlax is ours.
Right, right. And we have the Blaziken setting up for those stacks. Curious to see how it'll do against this team comp here, especially with something like a Zarina possibly being its contender up top. But we do see a new mon that's being added into the mix. We have Gaps up on the Espeon.
Ooh, Espeon is great. So one of the ways to balance a scaling comp, such as like with Blastoise or like a mid-scale comp like Serena, is to bring in something that comes online nice and early. Espeon's able to do that. If you're able to feed it to level 4, 4-man gank into a top lane is a viable strategy at that point.
Yes, and especially going up against something like a Gardevoir, something that's late game, uh, something where if a team can get a Gardevoir super underleveled as long as they can, they have a really high chance of winning this game. But we do have Monk on a new speedster, Absol, and switching over to the eject button.
They are for sure. And that Absol Gardevoir combo is something that we saw on the side of Midnight Griefers. Keedic is taking that away from them, forcing more of a brawly comp coming up from Midnight Griefers, which Gardevoir is going to be able to take full advantage of with both its Unite move and whether it's Psychic or Moonblast.
Right. And it looks like on the side of Midnight Griefers, we do have something else that was working being brought back into this game. We have the Ceruledge being chosen here with the X attack, possibly going in to target that Gardevoir. So we'll see how the Gardevoir is able to evade it, but also see if the Snorlax is able to cover its teammates and protect it from being killed off a little too early in a fight where it's needed.
And this is a fight without Blissey into Suicune. Those stuns are going to be deadly with only one full heal on the Serena there. Blaziken with the Suicune combo. We could see a Blaze Kick or a Freeze into Blaze Kick or Blaze Kick into Freeze. And that could be the end of Midnight Griefers.
Yes, and it looks like we're seeing something different here, Hyde. We're seeing a 3-man push top with an invade, which is something we haven't seen all set.
Observer, can we watch this? Can we see this invade, please? Snorlax going in on that red buff, starting out. The Charcadet watching is absolutely unaware of what is happening in the top side of his jungle. Snorlax is gonna get it. Does he just he doesn't even come in to sneak it. He's just gonna keep the contestation going the whole time.
Yes, and that's such a great way for its routes to get online. You see it taking the jungle here. Snorlax is doing its job, just distracting everyone. 4 of them were on him, Hyde, leaving the Absol here to be fighting against the Squirtle by itself.
And even though the Snorlax goes down, he did his job. Are we seeing a KO? Oh my goodness, the ball toy was like, Snorlax, good job. Charcadet, goodbye. As we see a KO from a wild farm. This might be the first of it. This might be a Zygarde League first.
Yes, and it looks like we have 4 of the teammates of Midnight Griefers being up top here. We have a rotation from that Blaziken coming up top here, and we're getting some levels set up for the 8-minute mark. We have a few rotations happening. Gabs up, going back down to his lane here to help its itty bitty Squirtle get online, hopefully before the 8-minute mark. But unfortunately, it looks like the Snorlax was able to get away just in the nick of time.
He was indeed. That is what Snorlax do, but we are 5 seconds out from these mid-bursts as Midnight Griefers looks to take a power position, but they're lacking their Blastoise. Gardevoir is now level 7. Absol now level 7. 2 moves on both sides of these Mons. Huge damage coming in. Ceruledge, the first victim. Absol, the second. Coming through. as we start taking this fight. Midnight Griefers pushing deep, grabbing the Suicune, and now pivoting into this bottom lane.
Right. And it looks like they're able to get a little bit of cap there. But I do want to commend the Suicune just a little bit for that stun in that fight. But it looks like the Snorlax is coming back, trying to redeem itself, but unfortunately falling down to 4 teammates. But it doesn't get away without getting a kill itself on the Wartortle.
Listen, normally you want that Blaziken to be the big bad level 8, but that Gardevoir is like, I'm taking over that job this game. That Gardevoir is level 8 and almost level 9. Well on its way to have its Unite move for the first objective, spawning in 2 seconds here, as Midnight Griefers and Keedic decide which objectives they're going to go for.
Right. It looks like they aren't trying to break that top pad for the side of Keedic. Possibly going to go for this rip, or at least try and get some vision here. Oh, just kidding. It looks like the Absol was breaking in that score, maybe to get another stack. Serena over here trying to get its level 9 early. And we are seeing a fight down bot.
That we did indeed. This while Keedic is taking top side, Midnight Griefers wasting no time going for the bottom side. They had a couple of knockouts, allowing Keedic to come in and start pushing them off the pad. We are in a 3v3 scenario right now as Keedic starts ripping this Regice. When they take it, if they take it, it will be 90 seconds of healing buffs coming their lane. Midnight Griefers wants that experience, trying to find a way in. Not able to get there enough, with Keedic now putting the pressure onto this bot side lane. Huge
Yes,
Espeon Unite coming out here. Absolute Unite going in. Suicune coming through. Gardevoir coming through. Huge points raining in. 175 to 27 for the side of Keedic.
Right. And it looks like the Regieleki wasn't able to, it was able to do its job of getting some of the team distracted, especially the Zarina. But it looks like we have a bit of farming that's happening here on the side of Midnight Griefers in order to get that Sarah a little bit online against the rest of its opponents. But unfortunately, its teammates are a little bit under-leveled versus Team Keedic.
They are indeed level 11 on the Gardevoir, level 11 on the Blaziken. The only double digit on the side of Midnight Griefers being that Ceruledge. Blastoise not close. Serena getting closer. Espeon also about, but you have a huge fight coming in. Blastoise goes down. Ceruledge Unite comes out. Serena is gone, but we're trying to pick up knockouts. Huge Suicune Unite picking up the Ceruledge Blastoise combo, putting Midnight Griefers on the back foot. While now Keedic rotates into this top side lane with advantage on the map to grab this Regieleki.
Yes, we have a Zarina ult happening here on the Blaziken. Was able to survive it thanks to its teammates and its flash. And we have Team Keedic starting that rip. While Snorlax and Suicune are zoning out to gain vision of the rest of its team. Espeon over here freely trying to go ahead and go in for that back cap, knowing that most of the Team Keedic are up top here. And we're seeing the Blastoise doing a little bit of fighting. Absol doing an ult on it. Blastoise ulting and injecting to make sure some of its team is able to farm up. But we have a few kills happening here. El Cremo was able to get away, though, just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time, indeed. But they were trying to zone out for their team. And as Keedic is now rotating into this bottom lane to try to zone out Midnight Griefers and bait them into an engage that is unfavorable to them. Suicune being on the front lines, grabbing the Ceruledge. Ceruledge Unite coming out on the Absol. Quick double knockout for it. Being able to lock in the Gardevoir. Gardevoir Unite coming out. Grabs the Ceruledge. Not going to be enough to KO it in one hit, but still grabs it with a follow-up attack. Midnight Griefers now ripping on this bottom Registeel. Serena getting interrupted on a score, joining her team. Are they going to be able to secure it? They are zoned out. Blastoise doing an excellent job keeping the Keedic away from that Registeel.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be costing it its life, but that's okay. They were able to get the side of Midnight Griefers, the bot objective here. And we're about to a minute left into the Ray fight here. We're seeing a bit of split positioning here for the side of Keedic. Um, I'm not really sure if they're going to be contesting or getting some early positioning at least. I'm sorry, but it looks like they're going to be trying to contest these Regieleki here. Most of the both teams are actually positioning for top here, with the exception of the Zarina doing a quick back cap to help secure a little bit closer game before that Ray fight here.
This Regieleki is nothing but bait. Keedic will take it and they will send it, but they're waiting for Midnight Griefers to make a mistake, whether it's burning a Unite move or coming in. That's all they want, as our teams are now starting to come into the Ray pit to zone it out. We are 8 seconds away from Ray, and this fight will soon be underway. 195 to 125. Keedic will not be making a move early and does not need to make a move early in, but we do see that Snorlax coming with a heavy slam engage. They're getting picked off. The goes for the heavy. Goes for a nice power nap right now. Serena coming in. First KO on the Absol, but Serena soon to follow. Huge knockout of the Blastoise by the Gardevoir. But the Cerulege ult is not enough to pick up the KO as it's run out of the Ray pit.
Yes, but that's okay. It's able to make its comeback and reset a little bit. But unfortunately, yes, they do have a reset also for Gardevoir and Suicune. We do have a few more ults left here on the board. It looks like Keedic is going to be at a little bit of disadvantage for the second fight, but we are seeing a little bit of a split.
Suicune is the first to fall into this refight here. Midnight Griefers looking to pick it up. Gardevoir, the next one, huge coming in. They got to zone out that Blaziken, but that overheat can still be a menace. Cerulege now falls. Midnight Griefers has to do something. They have points on the table there. They're only 70 points down. Huge knockout on the Blaziken as they turn on the Great Green Dragon. Snorlax going to look for a heavy slam secure, but it won't be enough as it goes to the Blastoise. 40 seconds to score. Ray shields are up. 4 people up for the side of Midnight Griefers. They have to go. 3 down for Keedic. Can they hold out for 33 more seconds as these Hundo Burgers come in? They start raining in. 223 to 195. 323 to 195. Here we go for more. 423 to 195. Midnight Griefers is going to take game number 2, and we are going to a game 5, Thoob.
My goodness, what a great game. Midnight Griefers was just doing such a great job. I do want to credit again the Suicune for doing its job, but unfortunately it wasn't able to clean up some of those kills, or at least pull in those stuns as in timing wise as much as it needed to, in order to get the rest of its team to jump in and get those KOs like they needed.
Yeah, no, they needed to follow up with those KOs. They were able to grab a few of them here and there, but that's Cerulege on MC Blast, who we can only imagine who that is, coming through. No points scored, but they were, oh my goodness, they were on top of everything. 56k damage, but they were putting in the work. They had some clutch Unite moves with the catches there. We had some great moments from the Gardevoir being able to go toe-to-toe with it. It didn't survive the engages, but it sure as heck made sure to hold a grudge and bring it down with it.
Yes, Hyde. And like we mentioned, I want to talk a little bit about that invade by the Snorlax in the very first few minutes of the game. It did a great job with distracting a lot of the team, 4 of them to be exact, to try and get their Gardevoir online. But unfortunately, as we saw later game, Midnight Griefers was just able to do a better job with securing what they needed, getting their levels up. We see here Cerulege being level 15, Blastoise here hitting level 14, and the Serena doing its job, getting its stacks in.
Oh, it absolutely did. This Snorlax's invade was an absolute beast of a show coming through. It did set them behind, which was it set Midnight Griefers behind. It allowed Keedic to get an early positioning, but oh no, I'll tell you right now, Thoob, like Midnight Griefers. You know what? I'm blanking on the thoughts right now. Woo! That is how
Yep.
fire these matches are.
Oh my goodness. Hyde, how do you feel like I mean, we saw we saw Midnight Griefers take game 3 uh with first pick here, but they were able to win it back this time around with second pick. How do you feel like this team this last match is going to go?
I think it's gonna. That's hard to say. Keedic and Midnight Griefers are such good teams. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. It really goes either way. It depends on what you're going to do in the ban phase. We're probably going to see Charizard again. We're probably going to see. We're probably going to see Zeraora again. I don't see Zeraora being let back in, but we might see a pivot away from something else on the side of Keedic. We might see a pivot away from the Blissey or the Slowbro or whatnot, and we might see it pivot into the Ceruledge. If we have the Charizard Ceruledge combo banned out against the side of Midnight Griefers, who has also opted to stop banning out the Leafeon, we might be able to see Keedic lock this in if they're able to ban the Ceruledge and possibly find an opportunity to bring Leafeon in. All right, if we're ready for game 5, let's send it. Let's get in there. Let's get into the first draft and let's see who is banning Charizard first. Because we all know it's coming. MC Monk does not disappoint.
Yes, and we'll be seeing yet another target ban for Midnight Griefers on the Zeraora. They do not want to fight that or risk that, making them lose this last match.
No, we're going to have the Alcremie and the Holo as our final bans. Oh, I do wish this game would stop messing with me in this. We're having a little bit of technical issues here with the display there. It keeps shortening, it keeps lengthening. I don't know what's going on, but it likes to mess with me. But we got it. We're on it, and there we go. We're fixed for a nice full screen going into game number 5 of week 3 of Zygarde League versus Keedic and Midnight Griefers.
We have the Suicune being secured once again on the side of Keedic. And we're seeing the Blastoise being brought back for game number 5 on the side of Midnight Griefers, and the Slowbro that secured game number 3 being bringing its way back into the Pokemon Eos Island for game number 5. And what else is being brought back, you ask? Looks like it's going to be Garchomp on the side of Keedic and Umbreon.
Garchomp making his triumphant return. We saw just how effective it was in game number 2. So that is going to be a hard Pokemon for Midnight Griefers to come into. We are now lacking a little bit of damage on the side of Midnight Griefers with a Psyduck lock-in. Midnight Griefers looking to get in a last opportunity with this Blastoise in the carry slot with those leaks of Pokemon Unite, potentially changing the way experience works.
We see the Espeon being brought back as well on the side of Midnight Griefers, but we also are seeing Monk and McMonk TV bringing back the Venusaur and the Gardevoir. So very interesting team comps around, I feel, this time, Hyde. We have Sarah being brought back, though, hopefully to secure some of those engages yet again for the side of Midnight Griefers. But I feel like at this point in time, it could be anyone's game. I do want to point out, though, that Keedic is getting a little bit outbeat or at a disadvantage with that late game scaling, but you never know. They had a great job to recover and make sure that Gardevoir was online earlier, and we'll see if there are any invades potentially. Yet again, I mean, we have Umbreon here on the X speed, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see.
We have X Speed Score Shield Umbreon. That is going to be a score competent Umbreon for sure. But yeah, no, Keedic does have a very late comp. Midnight Griefers has 3 early, but where they lack with coming online early, they make up for in damage. Garchomp, Venusaur, Gardevoir. These are all high damage outputting Pokemon. Meanwhile, on the side of Midnight Griefers, we have the Ceruledge, we have the Espeon. But then, who is their extra damage? Blastoise? Unless this is
I
a
would,
Spin Toys, I don't see where the extra damage is going to come from. And when you're
you
outnumbered
know
on
what?
carries like that, could be the end.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to say I'm feeling the spin stories here, especially because there wasn't the EXP share. But we'll see. We're off to the races yet again, Hein. We have Umbreon and uh Bulbasaur taking its way down bot. Monk is taking Gardevoir or Ralts, I'm sorry, to that jungle. And we have a check for an invade here, potentially, with Espeon being a little late to its bot lane.
Yeah, after that brutal Snorlax invade where 4 members of Midnight Griefers had to come in, you're definitely going to check for invades. You don't want that happening again.
Yes, we're at this 920 contestant up top, and it looks like it went to the side of Midnight Griefers with that secure from that Squirtle, and both teams are able to make it out. They don't want to overextend. They don't know where each other's junglers are, but it looks like we have Mick Char. I'm sorry, Mick Blast, ready here to take on this fight with them up top.
Yeah, I thought these were the Midnight Griefers, not the Mick Griefers. What's going on here, guys? But we do have an engage onto these midbirds coming in. Gibble very low as Ceruledge dives in to try to take it. Blastoise is going to fall with the Gibble as Midnight Griefers pulls away from this push.
Yes, let's go ahead and go to the spot lane now. Espeon securing that contested farm, while Umbreon was able to score a little bit of points. And we have Ceruledge over here in Keedic's jungle trying to potentially go for another kill, or so I thought, Hyde.
You got to be careful when you're in a position like that. You can't go too deep. It seems really juicy, and sure, you might get the KO, but when you're the highest level on your team this early in the game, you can't get KO'd or get picked up as a KO because that's just going to be devastating. But as we go in on top of these midbirds, this Ceruledge does get picked off by the Gabite, coming in with a huge dragon combo as Keedic is now forcing their way into this bottom lane, putting Midnight Griefers into a disadvantageous situation.
Yes, but we are seeing a counter invade here, with the Gabite getting that red. Oh, I'm sorry, it landed on the Suicune. And it looks like we're having Blastoise try and go, or I'm sorry, Wartortle go for that level 7 evolution, but unfortunately it just didn't have enough points to score and get as much XP as it needed.
Yeah, it's tough being that close when you're Evo locked, but huge KO on the Gabite by the Ceruledge, so good job there. As they're collapsing on the Suicune here, points are raining in with a slight lead at 36-26. Anybody's game still at this point as we're now entering our first objectives.
Yes, we have Blastoise online here. We're looking at this bot Reggie here. It looks like it's a Registeel. And Gardevoir and Venusaur are trying to do its best with going in. We have an eject pop. We have Psyduck pop its headache on the Umbreon. We're just seeing a little bit of fighting here, while we have the top being defended, top goal being defended, and Saru is trying to make a way of potentially hitting this Regieleki. I'm not really sure where it's going.
Regieleki hits like a truck. That Ceruledge had to eat both berries, come back, and go try again. Blastoise will join him, but down in the bot line, we have Beam of Swords being rained down on Midnight Griefers. They are not liking it one bit, but that's okay, because Slowbro is juking and he's swooping, and he's dodging them like a champion.
Yes, we have the Gardevoir ult online here with that level 9. They are trying to start again of hitting that Registeel while their Garchomp is fighting and ripping that Regieleki up top. We have a very close game here with that secure, and it looks like it's going to go to the side of the Venusaur.
That solar beam is something that is hard to out secure indeed. There's just no way that you're going to be able to do it. There's nothing except possibly a Espeon on the other team on the side of Midnight Griefers that's going to be able to pull that off.
Yes.
But that Espeon has to get close in order to do it.
Yeah, and it looks like they didn't try and push it a little bit too much. Slowbro and Espeon were able to get away just a little bit, and we're seeing a little bit more ducking and dodging, some farming going on. But levels wise, it looks like we're pretty even, with the exception of Garchomp hitting level 11 just now.
Yeah, Garchomp, biggest boy on the map. That's exactly what you want with your hyper carry. Garchomp going to be able to shred just about anything that it's going to come up to toe-to-toe with. You're going to need more than one guy to take him down.
Right. We're seeing a little bit of a back cap here with this Umbreon. It looks like it's trying to go for some stacking, but who else is stacking here? We have Blastoise trying to make its attempt, but unfortunately the Garchomp was too close and caught it just in the nick of time.
Oh, isn't that always frustrating when you get on pad, you start scoring, you're about to hit it, and somebody just got to come and ruin your day. But Midnight Griefers is starting to zone out. Huge Ceruledge Unite coming through, misses the Garchomp, but they pick up the Suicune. Garchomp getting on top, but with a wasted Unite move, not able to connect. But the Dragon combo into the Gardevoir Unite will secure the double KO, allowing them to take through the Regieleki. Down in the bot side path, we have Venusaur trying to hold the lane. He's not able to do it alone effectively. Umbreon is sitting on that other pad, scoring as many points as it can, putting the score shield to use.
Yes, and unfortunately, it looks like the top pad is being broken by the side of Keedic, as we're seeing yet another fight happen for this Registeel.
Yeah, Registeel is a huge objective. Gets attack and special attack increase for 90 seconds as it's coming in. Gets taken down, secured by the Suicune Unite. Going to the side of Keedic.
Yes, and Umbreon is doing a great job with hitting some of that score shield, putting it to work. You know, Hyde, it's been doing a lot of the scores for the side of Keedic, and now they're currently in the lead, but it is a close game, Hyde. We're at the 3-minute mark here. It looks like we're farming up our ults yet again for Ray. Both of the sides here are trying to farm up, but the mid-birds are going to the side of Keedic.
They are indeed, and that Umbreon is indeed putting that score shield to work. Let me tell you, you got to remember too, this is a game about scoring. It doesn't matter how many team fights you win, how much damage you racked up at the end of the game, or how many KOs you took and hyper carried. If you didn't score enough points, you're gonna lose.
Oh, yeah, it could even go down to 1 point, Hyde. So we're at the 20-second mark here. We're getting ready to see some of this positioning being done. Keedic is barely making its way in, where we have the side of Midnight Griefers already in its positions. Venusaur is trying to go ahead and drop some of those sludge bombs to see if there's anyone in their bushes, but they are farming up their ults. Suicune and Psyduck are the only ones here that don't have their ults.
And that is a detriment to be in because they are very useful Unite moves, but they were cast a little late. But now we're going to be seeing poke damage. No healers on the side of Midnight Griefer, so that Venusaur is going to be free to fire solar beams. And even though that didn't do a whole lot to that Blastoise, it's going to start chunking away eventually. But we have a huge dive and an engage from the Blastoise on that Gardevoir, trying to go through. Ceruledge knows exactly what target it was. It got triple united. They wanted that Gardevoir gone, and the Espeon will soon follow. Midnight Griefers is collapsing down. There's the actual Ceruledge Unite. I miscalled that. Huge grab on the Suicune Garchomp. Midnight Griefers now in a rip position, but they gotta watch this Venusaur as it takes down their tank in their Slowbro. Psyduck is low, and we are sitting at 195 to 169. 1 minute left in this map, and we are no sign closer to Midnight Griefers coming back into this game. But here, we have a huge Unite grab, or Rayquaza grab with the Venusaur. It goes down. 4 of Midnight Griefers is down. 1 for the side of Keedic, as Keedic is now dive bombing the bases with 287 to 169. Do we have any more coming in? No, they're playing it a little bit safer. but they are in the lead. Blastoise looking for an opportunity to get on that pad. Gardevoir is hovering it. We had a fire match with 20 seconds left. Blastoise not able to get in, and this push is all but dead in the water. Keedic is going to take game number 3 in tonight's set. Midnight Griefers did not win a set, but they took their first win. We have exciting stats around for everybody, and this was a fire set to go through.
This was Hyde. I mean, we had so much going on. And excuse my camera panning for that last match. There was just so much going on, Hyde. But to recap everything, we had an invade, we had some target bans, we had some research being done, we had some split fights, we had some 5-man pushes, we had a lot going on, and I feel like it's very interesting to see these leagues because keep in mind, everyone, Zygarde League is not really for the professional top 8 levels. It's more for the people that are really trying to work their way up. And I want to give credit to the people that founded this league for giving these teams and these players this opportunity to grow. And we saw growth. We saw a lot of different strategies being tested out and tried out for these teams, Hyde.
We have indeed. I'll tell you that right now. We had a lot of players come in tonight and being able to lock in on different Pokemon. That Ceruledge was a sleeper pick for sure. Where was that the first 2 games? McBlast, come on! You're letting us down. You're keeping us in suspense on these sleeper picks. And the Secret Tech Umbreon, 317 points. Bro was golden, let me tell you.
Bro was going, and Mick Monk TTV on the Venusaur, hitting those beams once again. We saw a different play here with Machar also. I was very surprised that we didn't get Charizard from someone named McChar, but we did get Blastoise doing spin stories, which is very fun to see. And I was very excited for a lot of the defenders that were being played tonight. We had Goodra making a debut on one of the earlier sets. We had Umbreon, and we have especially this comp here on the side of Midnight Griefers. We had Slowbro and Psyduck and Blastoise being used for this final game, and it did really well, I would say.
Yeah, with 56k damage, it's not a bad. That's not a lot of not a bad damage number to have. It is the largest damage on your team and on the other team as well, which had a Garchomp and a Gardevoir. But that Venusaur coming in with 96 again without a healer, that's gonna be detrimental. They allowed what happened in game 1 to happen again in game 5.
Right. And I mean, it really was anyone's game for this last game, but it really led up to that Ray. How they were able to play the Ray. I feel like Midnight Griefers could have played a little bit slower because they were in the lead, and unfortunately they lost that opportunity, and Keedic was able to notice that right away and get that tempo in to make sure that they got those kills. We had a lot of unites being pulled out on that last Ray fight too, but unfortunately Midnight Griefers was just a little bit split, where I feel like most of the team needed to stick together, especially like ults like the Ceruledge, needed that time to have grouping ups, and the Espeon ult as well, just in order to make sure that they got more of those kills right in the moments that they needed it in order for those long kill cooldowns to activate.
Yeah, it almost feels like a Keedic special at this point, being able to isolate and scatter the enemy team, being able to get targeted picks off, being able to grab crucial KOs. They haven't perfected it yet, but let me tell you, it certainly was effective tonight.
Right, and it looks like we're just about done with our game, Hyde. Is there anything else you want to point out? Any special shout outs? Any moments that people should look out for the Zygarde League?
Well, let's go take a look at the standings and give you a rundown of how Week 3 is currently going. In first place, we have Thanks Gaming and Secret Tech, currently tied with the exact same win rate at 9 games won, no games lost, for a perfect run of 3-0. We are now followed up with Keedic, who is also in that 3-0 category, but they have taken a few set losses. So they still have a perfect record in sets, but they don't have the perfect record in games. But we will be back to see Arson tomorrow night as they go up against Hamsters. So we will have our 6th place team going up against our 3rd place team. That's going to be a fire match, and you can catch it here on this channel for 8 p.m. EST. Again, we do have New World Order, No Sweat, Team Meow, and Midnight Griefers in our bottom 4. This is our danger zone. Whatever teams are within the danger zone by the end of week 11, that means they will be cut going into the playoffs, and we will have our top 8 going into week 12. But tonight was fire. Tonight was lightning. And let me tell you, tomorrow will be no different. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll bring you more hide and food shenanigans down the line as the Zygarde League continues. Good night.